And breathe. Oh. Morning. We love a little technical challenge first thing in the morning. Welcome, Matt. It's lovely to see you. Be you a little bit itty bitty at the top of my screen. But welcome. And Kusama and Ange are with us. So Casper is off today to the Birmingham Vihara to an MBO conference, I think, with Dave. Yeah. It's Satch's day off. So we're here this morning on a very damp, misty day, but not as damp as yesterday, which was very, very wet yesterday. So yeah, it's nice to be here. So I'm going to hand over this morning to Ange, who's going to read a Dharma glimpse, and I can't remember who it's by, but I know it was about cats. So over to you, Ange.
Thank you very much. So this Dharma glimpse is by Chris L. Story, Mindfulness of the Cat. Timothy is relaxing on the sofa. Timothy does a lot of relaxing. Like most cats, it's a skill he has down to a fine art. Timothy doesn't worry about mistakes he's made in the past. He won't be agonizing over that time when he accidentally upset a mug of coffee all over the new carpet, or when he ripped a hole in the net curtain whilst trying to catch a fly. Timothy doesn't worry about what the future holds either. He doesn't feel anxious about the conflict in Eastern Europe, or feel concern about the damage us humans are doing to the planet. Timothy lives in the here and now. He enjoys the warm sunshine on his back. He strolls around the garden with all its fascinating sights and smells. The feel of a friendly hand stroking his back and around his ears. The taste of his food as the bowl appears in front of him, courtesy of his tame human. Sometimes I wish I could be like Timothy. It would be so much easier and less stressful not to be concerned with anything beyond what is happening in this present moment within the narrow confines of my everyday life. On the surface, it may seem that living in the present moment is just that and nothing else. Being mindful of what is happening to us in this moment and putting aside everything else. However, living mindfully is so much more than that. If we live mindfully, we become more aware of what is going on around us. We become more open to the world with its joy and pain, its wonder and suffering, its potential and fragility. Being mindful doesn't limit us, but rather expands our horizons. I could say more, but Timothy has got up from his rest and wants his dinner. He wants it now, of course. Now I'm going to need a boom.
Thank you. I can relate as a person who shares my life with 5 feline friends. So we'll go now into a period of quiet meditation. Hopefully you're all sitting comfortably. Om Mami Dewari. 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 Om Breathe. For refuge, I go to the Buddha.
For refuge, I go to the Buddha.
The one who is awake and full of love.
The one who is awake and full of love.
Namo Buddhaya.
Namo Buddhaya.
For refuge, I go to the Dharma.
For refuge, I go to the Dharma.
All that guides us to wisdom and compassion.
All that guides us to wisdom and compassion.
Namo Dhalmaya.
Namo Dharmaya.
For refuge, I go to the Sangha.
For refuge, I go to of the Sangha,
those who live in the Buddha's light.
those that live in the Buddha's light.
Namo Sanghaya.
Namo Sanghaya.
With faith in the three jewels
With faith in the three jewels
and in the light of my human tendencies,
and the light of my human tendencies,
I pray that I may become aware
I pray that I may become aware
of when I take life.
of when I take life.
I pray that I may become aware
I pray that I may become aware
of when I take what is not freely given.
of when I take what is not freely given.
I pray that I may become aware
I pray that I may become aware
of when I fall into sexual misconduct.
of when I fall into sexual misconduct.
I pray that I may become aware
I pray that I may become aware
of when I fall into wrong speech.
of when I fall into wrong speech.
I pray that I may become aware
I pray that I may become aware
of when I become intoxicated.
of when I become intoxicated.
No blame. Be kind.
Be kind.
Love everything.
Love everything. Innumerable are sentient beings.
We vow to save them all.
Inexhaustible are deluded passions.
We vow to transform them all.
Immeasurable are the Dharma teachings.
We vow to master them all.
Infinite is the Buddha's way.
We vow to fulfill it completely. Don't want that. That's my feedback for the book group. Maybe you might like to listen to that. It's quite good this week. Oh, not recently. Oh, there we go. Dark eclipses. And I get to look at these as I talk about this week's a little bit. That's still rain on them. Oh, not due, is it? Yeah, so this was a glimpse. I think week one I was putting this together, and it's still a work in progress. But yeah, always a work in progress. Actually, there's always perhaps something you can add or think, oh, should I put that in or change that? But this is as it is today. So as I was setting up for Saturday morning practice, a bit like today really, perhaps a bit more calmer. We were running around today trying to sort out the technological side of things. I noticed the shrine flowers. And they'd looked, well, a bit like today, they'd looked so beautiful from the previous week when they'd been picked from the temple garden. And as we were walking around the garden today, I'm amazed at the flowers in October still blooming, the passion flower, isn't it, on the vine? Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. But now these flowers were wilting and dying, becoming weaker, and they were bending towards the ground. And the big glorious daisy, her head was drooping, the petals had dropped, and the pollen was scattered across the green shrine cloth. The edges of the leaves were turning brown, and some of the smaller flower buds that hadn't opened had dropped off. Life was fading slowly, naturally, and gracefully. These flowers were beginning to wilt and fade over time, And at that point in time, I thought to myself, Dave must be on holiday or away, because I believe currently it's something that Dave does for the shrine room. And it's a beautiful thing to be able to do. Remember, it was my job a few years ago, and a beautiful job he does, I might add. And the first time I noticed that the shrine flowers hadn't been replaced, and this was, quite many years ago, I felt a sense of disrespect. How can this happen? Why haven't they been replaced? Who hasn't done their job? How embarrassing. What are people going to think? And all these mad, are they rational thoughts, irrational thoughts? But these thoughts were running through my head at that time. But at that point in time, it was far late for me to do anything. I couldn't dash down into the garden and pick a fresh bouquet or run out. I used to sometimes run out and find there are a couple of, we'll call them weeds, but those beautiful pink flowers and that grow in the front. I could run out and pick some of those and pop them in if I'd had time. But at this point, I didn't. Anyway, but I held on. I held on to these thoughts throughout service, kept glancing up, internally shaking my head, and feeling a sense of sadness at their demise. But of course, this cycle is completely natural, and we're not surprised when flowers wilt and die. We're not surprised when their time has passed, particularly when we've picked them. And this cycle of beautiful, amazing, wonderful life, impermanence. And like the shrine flowers, I began thinking about times in my own life, feelings about change and impermanence. Do I embrace them? Do I still feel some resistance? Instead of viewing these changes in life as perhaps unwanted or unwelcome, these negative feelings, clinging on to them as long as possible, could I actually look at them differently through a different lens, this lens of impermanence? And at that point, I remember reading an article in Tricycle, and I rapidly tried to go and find it. I probably got the page up to say you've read too many articles and you need to subscribe, which I get frustratingly far too often. But for example, they'd written about a time in a person's life that might have been prosperous, that might be slowly disappearing or withering away, but that might be replacing something else or allowing something else to emerge. And by embracing these change and perhaps instead of resisting them, we can rejuvenate aspects of our life, which might be wilting or perhaps stagnating, replacing them with something new, thinking about this dying vase of flowers and then replacing them with a freshly picked ones. And I wrote this the week the tree in the sycamore gap was felled. And I was reminded when I wrote this of the felling of that tree at Sycamore Gap. And obviously this week they've been doing more work, there's more, it's still ongoing. But that huge collective sense of grief that has followed this act as the tree was loved. And it was as beloved as took me back to our white-leafed oak, which met its end. Which met its end due to an unattended lantern. And I remember how I felt about that. But however, amidst all this collective grief shared online and the speculation of who and why, one gentleman, and it's a link Caroline Brazier actually put up, he's written about the tree's resilience and its ability to regrow, and it will arise like a phoenix from its ruin. And I know now we're many weeks later, they're thinking about what they're going to do and what they'll do. But this is life, isn't it? Evolving. Sometimes it's quiet and settled and fun, exciting, sometimes difficult, challenging, painful. Almost always these phases pass. reminding us of life's impermanence, and we can work with them, we can embrace them, welcome new beginnings, and not perhaps get too caught up in these changes. So today, I can look at these freshly arranged God, I can't get my teeth in. These freshly arranged shrine flowers, but for some reason, should they not get changed, I can still look at their beauty, but in a different way, appreciating this cycle of life. The realization of impermanence is poignant, tinged with mourning, but yet also capable of recognizing the beauty of change in itself. Namo Amida Butsu. Oh, you creaks.
Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida. Namo Amida. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida. Namo Amida. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida. In gratitude, we offer this incense to all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas throughout space and time. May it be fragrant as the earth herself, reflecting our careful efforts, our wholehearted awareness, and the fruits of understanding slowly ripening. May we and all beings be companions of Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. May we awaken from forgetfulness and realize our true home.
blessed by Amitabha's light. May we care for all living things and the holy earth.
Kirtan on Sunday.
So yes, so Kirtan on Sunday at
7:30.
7:30. So I'll be here, it's in my time. And I don't think I've got any other notifications. So we're going to try the new silent exit.